What's up, fellow collectors? Welcome back to the M.I.B. Master Toy Museum. I'll be a curator today. Guys, more fun, more excitement from the museum here on a Saturday night, guys. I got the coffee on, and I have a real special one for you today. A very meaningful one offering for you today. This is from the ROBERTO LIGOTTI collection. Our good buddy here at the museum and friends with a lot of fellow collectors. Roberto passed away maybe a few weeks ago. And I have a lot of items that I purchased from my good friend Roberto. And this is one of them. I purchased a ton of Soldiers of the World figures from Roberto. And this particular one I saw, the German Infantryman. And to show you how Roberto was famous for his being able to pack and ship the figures out beautifully. This figure was made in, let's see here, 1997. This figure looks like it just came off of the toy store shelf. And Roberto put it in plastic and packed it in a giant box with the rest of the figures that I purchased from him. The Soldiers of the World figures I purchased from him. And you might be saying, well, why does it still has the plastic on? I will never take this plastic off of this figure now. I did for, I think, 3 or 4 figures. You'll see the videos if you go on the Roberto LIGOTTI collection playlist that we have on our museum channel playlist set. You'll see a lot of these figures. So I did about 4 videos on previous figures that I had from Roberto, and I have a ton left that I have to do, but the rest of them have this plastic on them, and I used to take the plastic off, shoot the video, and then put the plastic back on after the video was shot. But this is his personal touch, Roberto's personal touch, and in honor of my good friend Roberto, I'll never take this plastic off. This was sealed by his hands personally, and that's how this figure will stay. But we'll get into the video here, guys. These were figures that I saw way back in the 90s, but because I was collecting G.I. Joe at the time, I just couldn't bring myself to purchase these figures. I'm kicking myself now because they've become quite popular on the secondary market, and a lot of that popularity is largely in part to the beautiful uniforms that these figures had. See, our guy's helmet is not quite on. Chin strap is up there by his nose. This is how he came. He's got an axe here. He's got his rifle here. And this is the World War I from 1914 to 1918 Soldiers of the World German Infantryman. And it comes with his own display stand, as you can see in the back. There's a display stand. Boots, beautiful outfit. He's got a bedroll there. Real cloth there. Has that, what I call the trigger hand there already ready. But it was these beautiful uniforms that customizers really wanted these figures for. They wanted those uniforms off these figures. And the Soldiers of the World figures, without question, had some fantastic uniforms, outfits that they've become over the decades now famous for. which really has made them so popular. You can still find these guys. These guys aren't super expensive. You have some that are kind of pricey, but you can find these guys. But I said if I ever found these guys in fantastic condition, I would start collecting them and adding them to my collection and building my Soldiers of the World collection up, because I really love them that much now. I really came to really love these figures. And like I said, all of the figures, the Soldier of the World figures I bought from Roberto has even more of a meaning now because of who I bought them from. And like I said, my good friend, he's no longer here with us, but he is in spirit, and you know, his fingerprints are all over this. Like I said, his handiwork of of packing this guy perfectly, sealing him up, and we'll turn this around so you can see the back. It's hard to stand it, but I'll get you a shot here, blown out shot, and we'll move in a little bit here. And this tells you the story, backstory for this German infantryman. I want to freeze your video so you can check those guys out. Here's all the figures we have, infantrymen, or here's all the ones I should say that are available. And this is our German infantryman right here. There's the Russian infantryman, the USA infantryman. Now here's the France infantryman. I really like this one. I don't believe I have this one. I have to check my collection. The Britain infantryman, and this is another France foreign legionnaire figure. Pretty cool. Guys, your thoughts, your opinions. Get your side shot here. 12-inch fully posable figure, authentic weapons, changeable outfits, suitable for most 12-inch figures. This figure has some great weight to it, some heft to it. It's heavy. It's solid. These figures are, I don't know what these figures are made out of, what plastics that they use, but they're heavy. That might be a lot to do with the fact that he has a base in there as well. But as you can see, these are the big, hardy, beefy figures here. Not super articulate articulation, I should say, with the body. Not really super posable like that, like G.I. Joe was, and some of the more modern figures are today. But this was affordable back then. Even then, back in the 90s, you know, this gave parents an opportunity to buy their kids some great toys at affordable prices, because G.I. Joe was expensive. You know, some of the G.I. Joes back in the late 1990s and the early 2000s were very expensive, and parents that are trying to make ends meet wanted to do something nice for their kids at the toy store. You know, Soldiers of the World were on the toy shelves, right across from G.I. Joe, and they won some battles there in the toy aisles, financially anyway, for parents that just didn't have the money to purchase these beautiful figures. I mean, to purchase G.I. Joe, so they had to settle for these beautiful figures. Easy on the wallet, you know, and the kid was happy as well. Now, if you're a collector back then, like I was, you didn't pretty much get these guys. You got the G.I. Joes. I mean, that's you know, those are the toys I wanted as a kid that I couldn't afford. My parents couldn't afford G.I. Joe. So you wind up getting, you know, later on, I'm hunting down GI Joes. And when GI Joe made its return back in the early 90s, you know, that was my focus, was to get all the GI Joes I could get. So Soldiers of the World was just I looked at a generic brand or a knockoff to GI Joe, and now I'm so grateful and happy and blessed that I have a ton of these beautiful Soldiers of the World figures in my collection. Do you have any Soldiers of the World figures in your collection? If you do, we would love to hear it in the comment section right underneath this video, guys. You know the routine. More fun on the way. I'm gonna get some more coffee, guys. And you got it. God bless. Stay safe. God bless Roberto. And by all means, keep collecting.